ego comes and stops us in our tracks. Bravely we prove in our striving, trudging together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Good morning. Ooh, I don't like the red. We're gonna change that. Thought it might look good on here. We're gonna go back to blue. Just basic blue. If my background was like a red, orange, something like that, I'd probably put something up. But because my background is yellow, the things that you see in the background have an effect on you. Good morning, Michelle. Good morning, Leisure. It's good to see you both. Let's change this to default. Should we go default? Nah, let's go news. No. I always end up at the rounded. Always end up at the rounded. Happy Tuesday. Today we're talking about pride. Should we look up the definition of pride real quick? See what we come up with. What's up, Pukey Kitty? Don't come for me for attention and be like wanting to lick me and stuff. Definition of pride.
Here's the definition of pride.
Yeah, I don't really need you to blah, 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 blah. You don't need to say it for me. Thanks. All right. A feeling of deep pleasure or satisfaction derived from one's own achievements. The achievements of those with whom one is closely associated or from qualities of possessions that are widely admired. You know what? You want to know what I've been seeing lately in recovery with pride? Put on your damn clothes. Would you? Put on a shirt. Out there living your... I'm Dion, the sobriety coach. I'm going to just take my shirt off here. You don't want that. Trust me. Put on your damn clothes. Girls run around in bikinis and their nice little hot type bodies want to give advice. And look how great recovery is. We call this multi-level marketing. I was just talking with a, I don't know if she's necessarily a young lady. She appears to be younger than me, so not talking as much as they wanted to argue with me. But you know what they call it? I forget what they called it. That's what I need to remember. Right? Give me a second here. Well, not fabulous, but what do they call it? Doesn't matter. But anyway, glamorize. If they glamorize alcohol, then I can glamorize the hell out of sobriety. All right. 13,000 likes. 13,000 likes. Good for them, man. Good for them on just that post. I tell you why they got 13,000 likes, because she's cute. And you guys know me well enough because she's a pretty lady. And I said, you know, I usually found these things lead to low self-esteem. It's not glamorizing, it is low self-esteem. And they kind of got mad at me. I was just sharing my experience. How you take it is entirely up to you. And they got upset about that. Well, if you have such great self-esteem, then she called me a troll. And there comes the name calling. Where's your humility? You know, if I did this and you couldn't share your own experience, or I sat there and told you were wrong or called you a troll for sharing your experience, would you want to come back? See, it's not real. It's not real. Alcoholics live in a fake fucking world. whether we are on the alcohol or not, unless we decide to do something about it. That's the point. It's pride. And pride for an alcoholic is a killer. It leads to selfishness, self-centeredness. That we think is the root of our troubles, driven by 100 forms of self-deception. I got 172 days. I'm now an expert in alcoholism. All right. Now, if we're going to run around, we're going to be recovery coaches. We're going to do this other stuff. Go fucking educate yourself. I can tell you're not educated. You may have the experience, which is great, but that's what I would call the poltergeist effect. You ever seen Poltergeist at the end? Right? At the end, right? So, and everybody here knows Poltergeist because you're all my age. Right? At the end where he's shaking his boss and he's like, you moved the tombstones, but you didn't move the bodies. In recovery, you got to move the tombstones and the bodies before you go out and recover out loud. See, experience, strength, and hope. Strength and hope only comes from experience. And I love y'all, but 90 days ain't enough. It's not enough. I wish it was, but it's not. Perception of time is different to alcoholics than everybody else in the world. And you've got to accept that. It's tough, I know. It's an internal honesty. You will know when you are ready if you want to do something like that. But for God's sakes, 1 to 2 years and some education, would you? Morning, Amber. I'm here. I was doing work with a sponsee. Woohoo! See, that's what people should be doing. Then they want to give me a hard time. They're like, well, how are your metrics? I wrote back, I said, I don't do metrics. In fact, I probably have the lowest amount of people following me than anybody that does this. That's not why I do it. I do it to help one person a day. Right? Did Amber need to record her step work with a sponsee and feel the need to put it on Instagram so that she could get 13,000 likes? No. She didn't feel the need to do that, did she? See, the people doing the real work, you don't really hear from. Well, I have the largest, quietest following. Quiet is the qualification there. Quiet's the qualification. Because you don't have to say anything here. Or if you want to, you can. It's cool. As long as you're not peddling mushrooms. Been a while. They kind of gave up on that. Well, they probably just bug other people now. They're like, you don't need to do that to Dion. He's only got 3 followers. It's a waste of your time. All right? Isn't that awesome? I find it funny. I really do. I had the AC on, but apparently the AC caught up to whatever temperature it is upstairs. I'm going to get a fan. Oh. One day I'll have enough money to where I'll have my own fan in here. Maybe next week. I don't know. I do know this. I'm tired of being fucking broke, man. Like, I'm starting to get angry about it. Anyway, those are my problems. It could be worse. I could be hungover. Welcome to the Daily Trudge. I am Dion. I'm your crazy host. I'm a little nuts. I don't mind. Doesn't bother me. Well, doesn't bother me today. If you're here, please say hello. Please, I beg you, share my stuff, like my stuff. That is a reminder. If you like my stuff, share it. You know what sucks? Because like Michelle, I noticed that you share my videos often, right? Facebook doesn't tell me. People reply and stuff in that. They don't even fucking tell me anymore that somebody shared my stuff. Oh, it you know, it is funny, but I will tell you sometimes it's frustrating when I watch, you know, when I see a video of somebody, you know, just whining and crying about their addiction like I used to when, you know, when I was so but I didn't go online and do it, you know. But I give the solution and everybody runs. The truth is the hardest thing to tell. That has been my experience. The truth is the hardest thing to tell. And I get it because I didn't want to hear the fucking truth either. I wanted to keep my head in the fucking sand and be naive too. I wanted that too. But life just didn't really work out that way for me, you know. Some days I do wish I was still naive about the program and didn't understand a fucking lick of it. Because then I could go do whatever the fuck I wanted to also without any thought of repercussion. Sometimes I wish that. Then I remember the consequences to that. And that I'm not willing to take. I'm not willing to take. See, I'm going to show you how easy it is to come up with some fake program. Watch this. Watch this. Okay. I came up with a 4-step recovery process yesterday in a matter of 20 seconds. And there it is. Acknowledge the problem, seek support, develop healthy coping strategies, commit to long-term sobriety. Look at this. See, did I write this? No, this is Chat GPT. Welcome to the new recovery system. All right. So reflect on your, and this actually isn't bad. All right, we're going to stop sharing. I just want you to see how easy it is to create something without any knowledge. You got two that stuck. Yeah. Thanks, Amber. All right, let's get started. We got to, you know, it does upset me a little bit, but if we can't laugh at it, then what? Yeah, huh, Leisure. Leisure says, oh man, that sounds so easy. Maybe that's what I could do. I'll create an Instagram or a profile called The Easier, Softer Way. And I guarantee that thing will fucking blow up. I guarantee it will. Oh. You want to know? There's a title. I tried this about 3 years ago when I was still doing Instagram at the same time, and the title was "AA is not the only way," and it's been my biggest. It has been my biggest video. They all left pretty quickly when I started talking great things about AA. All right. People are like lemmings, man. They're like lemmings. All right, let's get to pride. And all that is about pride. that we need to be noticed. I'm going to tell you now, I want to be noticed too. Sure, I do. Yes, I do. I love being the center of attention. I'll admit it. I like being a super promoter. I like getting things out there. I like things growing and things like that. But I have found that there's a right way to do it, that there's Dion's way to do it, and that there's a right way to do it. And they don't match. I hacked AA. Amber, you're hilarious. Yeah, the AA hack. There we go. And for $10, I'll tell you exactly what's wrong with you. Actually, I probably could. All right, let's get to this. Where are we trying to get to? All right, pride. For thousands of years. Okay. Did say 71, right? Now we've kind of gone over a lot of this. We did it at the beginning of the month. This whole month is about, I wish they'd vary it a little bit, but that's okay. All right. In all these strivings, I am going to start at the bottom of page 70. With great intelligence, men of science have been forcing nature to disclose her secrets. The immense resources now being harnessed promise such a quantity of material blessings that many have come to believe that a man-made millennium lies just ahead. All right? You ever watch Star Trek? You ever watch Star Trek? That's what they're talking about, a man-made millennium, where everybody has everything that they need and nobody is wanting. That there will be no poverty, there will be no sickness, that lifespans will go on forever and ever, right? Nobody on Star Trek knows how to grow anything. Not anybody knows how to grow a tomato plant. Not quite true. There are some to Star Treks where there is people growing stuff. When you have a machine, they're more concerned about fixing the simulator, which creates the food, than they are. See, convenience. We are striving for convenience, and everybody wants more of it because they feel satisfied when they receive that convenience, and that turns into, at least for us, gluttony. Sitting around on our laurels. We want the easier, softer way. I still want the easier, softer way because the shit we do is hard, man. It is hard. But gosh, I let myself off and do the easy route for a very long time. So, Shell says, I love old Star Trek. Yeah. I remember growing up, people were like, are you Star Wars or Star Trek? I'm like, I like them both. I'm like, don't try and divide me in my TV watching. Okay. I can like both. Thanks. Told you I was defiant. Back to what we were talking about. Amber says I hacked AA and you'll lose 10 pounds. The moon or Mexico. All over. And there will be such an abundance that everybody can have all the security and personal satisfaction he desires. As long as other people exist, security will not exist either. The theory seems to be that once everybody's primary instincts are satisfied, there won't be much left to quarrel about. The world would then turn happy and be free to concentrate on culture and character solely by their own intelligence and labor. Men will have shaped their own destiny. And everybody's going to need to look the same. Every man would look the same. Every woman would have to look the same, or those instincts would not be satisfied. There will still be more. That is the human condition. More. Leisure Trek Wars. Yeah. Yeah, because you You couldn't put the star from Star Wars in for Star Trek. It wouldn't work. You got to use both the last. Or otherwise it would be Star Star. Or it'd just be Star Trek or Star Wars, even though you mixed up the words. My dyslexia does great on that one. All right. Certainly, no alcoholic and surely no member of AA wants to depreciate material achievement. I give a fuck less how much you make. I really don't care. Doesn't. Because you have, I mean, growing up, I never really, I grew up in white suburbia America, upper middle class. But my parents couldn't afford the clothes and the shoes, and I always had to wear hand-me-downs. So I got picked on a lot. Oh, because I didn't have the new shoes, or I didn't have this or that. Then I started drinking, and the picking on me stopped. Because if you did pick on my shoes, I would just tear you apart. Not physically, I wasn't a very big guy, but I was a quick-witted little fuck, and I've been listening for a long time. And I'm pretty good at figuring out what's going to hurt you. What I say, what will hurt you. It's my empathy, right? You know why kids bully? Because adults bully. It's a repeated behavior. Because those kids are being bullied by their parents. That's why. Now it's sad, isn't it? Yeah. Nor do we enter into the debate with many who still so passionately cling to the belief that to satisfy our basic natural desires is the main object of life. But we are sure that no class of people in the world ever made a worse mess of trying to live by this formula than alcoholics. And here comes the reading for today. For thousands of years, we have been demanding more than our share of security, prestige, and romance. Now go look at all over social media. People are out there demanding more than their share of attention. Everybody's scrambling for their 15 minutes of fame. I want to go viral. In my world, viral is a bad word. Yeah. Can your self-esteem take it? Mine can't. I don't want 100 people here. I do, but I don't. And I know that makes sense to you. I don't need that many people saying, I don't need 100 people saying shit. Then I need a producer to sift through those. And then it wouldn't feel as personal, would it? See, that number being small makes it feel personal here. You feel like I'm talking to you. I'm not talking about you anyway. But I am talking to you. And when that number is small, it helps out. Smaller, right? You ever go to one, you type something in and there's 100 people there? Yeah, they don't get to your stuff. And well, it was and we're going to do what we can to get their attention. Hey, look at me. Look how high I can jump. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me. Look what I'm doing. And I will repeat, recovery coaches, put on a damn shirt, would you? We don't care. Yeah, you look nice. Good for you. Good. Oh, cool. You're working out now. Look, I work out and help other alcoholics. Now I'm going to show you. All right. It's the need for attention. I know I need it. Michelle says, are you talking to me? Huh? I know you ain't talking to me. You talking to me? More than our fair share of security, prestige. That's the big one right now. That's the big one. And romance. When we seem to be succeeding, we drink to dream still greater dreams. When we were frustrated, even in part, we drank for oblivion. Never was there enough of what we thought we wanted. Do you really know what you want? My therapist, she doesn't ask it as much anymore because I kind of finally figured it out. But I would bring something up and she'd be like, is that what you really want, though? Because she's gotten to know me enough, right? I love you too, Leisure. She's gotten to know me well enough. Dion, is that what you really want? Because she knows I don't want it. I'm just saying it because I want to be a part of something. And I still do. I'm still having a hard time finding out where I belong. Seems to be a continuous problem. And it needs to be solved. There needs a decision needs to be made, right? In all of these strivings, so many of them well-intentioned, and there is the fallacy of an alcoholic. Fallacy. We think we are being well-intentioned. I read one thing earlier. They're like, no shade on AA. I went to one meeting and it wasn't for me. One meeting. And you figured out the whole fucking thing. You figured out AA wasn't. You didn't even try another meeting. You probably didn't even stay for the whole fucking hour. You probably never even went. That's a lie. It's a lie. What do alcoholics do? They lie. Even though we're well-intentioned, it's still a fucking lie. An alcoholic without accountability is full of shit. Period. That is fact. That includes me. Every alcoholic without accountability is full of it because of that right there. And all these strivings, so many of them well-intentioned, our crippling handicap have been our lack of humility. And what is humility? Figuring out that you're not as important as you think you are. Ding! Now take that and go out and look and see what's happening. I'll buy one of them. That you're going to have to convince me first. And I know when somebody's full of shit. As soon as they start talking, I'm going to know. I may not know what it is, but I know my intuition. Now, I do have to say there are several people that there's this guy, what's his name? It's like ex-people pleaser, something like that on Instagram. He's awesome, man. He's awesome. He tells it like it is. He is not full of shit. He's not trying to make money off of people. He is just out there being himself. Love it. What about the cameras in the faces of the homeless? That's alcoholism. You know, the people that do that are alcoholics. They're recovering alcoholics, right? And then they go out there and they shove cameras in the faces of people. And then it feels like an expectation. Instead of asking what they want, instead they go out there, play games with them, fucking wake them up, disturb their day, think it's okay. It's all for prestige. It's all for, even though they're not even, oh, I'm not even on camera. We can hear you fucking talking. Your name's plastered all over the damn thing. I don't want to get caught up in that. Do you know the consequences of that? I'm not quite sure what they are, but I know they're not going to be good. That I know. I know it's not going to turn out well. Have been our lack of humility. I no longer want to be the number one person in a group of people. I just want to be another person in a group of people doing something good. That's what I want. I'm having a hard time finding it. Leisure says my first meeting wasn't for me either. Yeah. But my second meeting 6 years later, falling further down the hole, was for me. Yeah. And when somebody says, not to throw shade, but that right there is a lie. That's a lie. People that start out sentences like "to be honest" are lying. They're lying about what they're saying if they say that. Because why do you have to denote that you're being honest? Does that mean you're full of shit the rest of the time? I don't know. I don't know. We had lacked the perspective to see that character building and spiritual values had to come first, and that material satisfactions were not the purpose of living. Quite characteristically, we had gone all out in confusing the ends with the means. What? Alcoholics putting cart before the horse? It's our specialty. Today's specials are cart before the horse. But is your key word. If somebody say, if they throw that but in there, not to throw shade, but the word but cancels out everything you just said before in that particular situation. They are throwing shade. Otherwise, why would they say it? But I went to one AA meeting and it just didn't work for me. You never even tried. You went to it. You took an hour. Okay, so you took an hour at an AA meeting and now you are educated. That is the fallacy of an alcoholic thinking. We think we know better, and we're so good at manipulating our own mind, we will turn it into something well-intentioned. We're not actually helping people. We just want to look pretty doing it. Oh, good job, good job. That's what we're going for. Hey, oh, good job, good job. Good job. I have 572 days today. Oh, that's so great. I have 13. Both these people are going to get drunk. Both of them. Now, because the new thing is, I think people are like how many days have there been in the year so far? Man, it was like, people are like, follow my sober journey. I'm 139 days. All right. Quite characteristically, we had gone all out in confusing the ends with the means. Instead of regarding the satisfactions of material desires as the means by which we could live and function as human beings, we had taken these satisfactions to be the final end and aim of life. You think those hundreds of followers are going to follow you forever? I can tell you right now, in the next couple of years, social media may not be around. It would not surprise me. All right. Michelle says, or you go to meetings thinking that alone will do the job. Yeah, thinking you can do it yourself. Yep. All right, on to the reading time. And again, I approached 7th step, only to fall back and regroup. Something was missing. The impact of the step escaped me. What had I overlooked? A single word read but ignored. The foundation of all the steps, indeed the entire Alcoholics Anonymous program, that word is humbly. I understood my shortcomings. I constantly put tasks off. I angered easily. I felt too much self-pity and thought, why me? Then I remembered pride goeth before the fall, and I eliminated pride from my life. All right. I think that's going to be it for this one. I appreciate everybody being here. If you would, feel free to sign up for my free 4-step recovery guide. All right. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate it. I love you. You know I do. Peace out and have a day.